Well, it is official. The United States has pulled out of the Paris Accords, but the rest of the world, well, they are up in arms, literally. France and Germany, everybody, they're all freaking out. Why? Because they are no longer going to be able to prosper off of the United States. Yes, it is now time for America first. And how are we going to prosper? How are we going to prosper as a nation? How are we going to be able to prosper as an individual? You heard Trump say it, his own words, that industries are going to be roaring back. We will not be beholden to the United Nations global slush funds that are unaccountable. Well, joining me now is none other than Charles Thorngren from Noble Gold Investments. He is going to explain to us exactly how America is going to prosper, how you are going to prosper in this new world moving forward with America first and our families first. Charles, welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
So, Charles, you heard what I said there. Oh, I should mention we are going to show everybody today what is in this envelope you sent me. It's very heavy too. You've got something you're cooking up there. I'll let you explain that in a moment. But your first impression on Trump's groundbreaking statement, we're pulling out of the Paris Accords. How is America going to be first?
You know, and it's a magnificent thing, in my opinion. For us to set ourselves up to restrict how we do business when the rest of the world is not going to follow that lead or going to make exceptions for certain countries makes no sense. It's bad enough that we shoulder the burden for most of the expense of the UN, that we give more than any other nation to help our neighbors. But then to saddle us in our industry to give us limits and control how we can prosper makes no sense. The fact that we're pulling out is a magnificent thing. Yeah. Here's the reality. The United States doesn't need any help with reforming and becoming cleaner. Most of our businesses are doing it anyway, without the accord. We see it. Everyone's building green. Everyone's got a zero carbon footprint policy. So it's already happening. The fact that we're not going to fund the rest of the world to do it is an important thing.
Now, John Kerry is one of the voices who have, he came out and he made this statement that, Trump's lying to the American people and how dare he pull out, this is what America decided we would do and this is what America's commitment would be. However, they didn't go to Congress to get the approval. They just signed a document and pledged our willingness to participate. With that said, why is it that they're trying to frame this as if it's America that made this commitment? However, it was really Obama trying to saddle us with this suppression. Why would Obama want to suppress the United States and its industries and working families?
Interesting question. I think that's a question we ask ourselves a lot. Why did Obama do many things? And I think rather than try to justify or explain what he did, because it's so difficult, some of it just makes no sense. If we look forward and we see, we have a gentleman now, President Trump, who's going to make America first. That's the counter of what we've had for the past 8 years. And why it was that way, it's so hard to tell. But what we do know is that he is in a massive political fight. Anything that he tries to do, you're going to have the political world fight against him. He is a return to an era where you stuck by your word. You committed to something and you did it. And that's what they don't like in the political world. In a world of doublespeak, he stands out. And it's so important. His business knowledge and his devotion to business first here is going to be what carries us forward.
Well, certainly there's a lot that's carrying us forward right now. A lot of momentum. We're seeing the jobs markets are coming back beyond expectations. We're seeing the stock market, of course, reach record highs. There's right after the Paris Accords, so much optimism. Now, let's talk about, before we get into this package here and we present this mystery you're about to tell us, how can folks take a hold of this new American prosperity for themselves and work with you directly on that front?
You know, we help people get invested in precious metals. The true safe haven, the only real currency there is, and it's been recognized for 5,000 years. Currencies come and go, but gold and silver stand the test of time. And what we help you do is diversify what you have now, whether it's in your IRA, your stock portfolio. We can help you get that protected by adding precious metals to your assets that you invest in. It's pretty simple. Well, we make it look simple. You give us a call. We'll show you what options you have. We'll help you convert an IRA. We'll get metals delivered to your door, and you'll have the protection of precious metals. It's so important. In a day of volatility, where we have a political system that has worked against us for so long, you need to protect yourself.
Well, I should point out the number is at the bottom of the screen. It's 888-596-7916. You can give Charles a call right now, and he will walk you through the process, answer any of your questions. Now, Charles, let's figure out what is in. Now, of course, I know what's in the bag. Okay, I already opened it. All right, it's no secret to me. But what you intend to do with it—that's the mystery. And I would like to know what your intentions are, because this thing, I have never seen anything quite like this, Charles. You know, I used to mint my own silver and gold pieces years ago, and this thing, it's a behemoth. It is the large. I mean, let's see here. Look at this. Can you guys see this? I'm gonna go full screen on this. Charles, you're not on camera right now, but look at the size of this. No, this is not a quarter, my friends. This is not a quarter. This is actually 5 ounces of silver. Look at that thing.
And that's quarter. From the America the Beautiful series.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It is 5 ounces of silver. And Charles, what do you want to do with this thing here?
You know, what I really want to do is, I make it a point to support companies and organizations that I feel are doing the right thing, and I wanted to offer this out to any of your Patreon pledgees. I'd like to run a promotion where, over the course of a month, we're going to choose one of your Patreon pledgees, and we're going to give them that coin for free. We want to really know that people are supporting real news, supporting things that matter, and it's just our way of helping. So at the end of the month, we're going to choose a name at random, and we're going to give them that 5 ounce America the Beautiful silver coin for free.
Wait, I don't get to keep it? I got to give this away? Well, so basically what you're saying here is that anybody that donates, is there a specific dollar amount that we're starting with here?
You know, let's make it a $20 pledge.
Okay, so anybody that goes and pledges $20 to the Next News Patreon, at the end of the month, you're going to, we'll send you the names, you'll select a random individual from the $20 Patreons, and then we'll send this out to them. Is that what you're planning on doing then?
That is exactly what we're planning on doing, and you and I won't be included in there. We can't win this.
Okay, well, I'm going to have all my family members pledge $20. I'm going to game this thing, Charles, and I'm going to make sure I win this. But at the end of the day, someone's going to win this, that's for sure. And this is a beautiful piece, and I was really shocked because I went to the mailbox and I see this. It's heavy. I'm like, what is going on here? And then I see Noble Gold as the return address. I'm like, huh? I turned to my wife. I said, what did they just send us? And I open it up, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm probably violating some rules here on how I'm holding it. I am trying to hold the edges as best as possible. But I should point out that it does say it's stamped on the edges 9995 fine silver, 5.0 ounce. So this is, wow, this is gorgeous.
They're minted in limited numbers too. That's just not a big run. You don't have multi-millions of those being pressed. So there's something special about it besides the beauty, besides the size. Mm-hmm. You know, if you were to go to the U.S. Mint's website, mm-hmm. you'd see that they're offering that for sale for $150.
So you could go, if someone wanted to get this, they could go to the U.S. Mint for $150.
True. Or they could call me and get it a little cheaper because I buy in volume.
Wow. So this is actually from the U.S. Mint then?
Yes, it is.
So you know how You sent me the gold piece. I don't have the gold piece down here with me, but it does say $50 on that gold piece. That's considered technically legal tender.
Exactly.
Is this considered legal tender in the same sense? Because
It's
it says,
considered legal tender. You could get a quarter for that.
wow, so this is technically legal tender. Its face value is $0.25, but you can go to the U.S. Mint website for $150. But better yet, you can simply go through this contest that Charles has just announced here and pledge $20 through Patreon. And at the end of the month, Charles will select one lucky Next News patron to win this. Charles, thank you for doing that. Sincerely.
My pleasure.
You know, I'm really excited to see how that turns out and to be able to send this to somebody. And since it's coming from, I have to send it. I have to surrender it, I should say. I will include a handwritten letter to whoever is the winner. All right, and I'll put a nice note there, and I'll thank them for being a patron and supporter of this program. So you'll get something from me personalized as well. I'll throw that in there. Charles, super cool. Super cool. Any other thoughts on the Paris Accord and what you see on the horizon as far as how America is just going to become greater and greater again? All the jobs, all the money that's going to be, the jobs being saved, the jobs being created, the money being saved. I mean, I don't know how we can go wrong with this.
It's important. We do have to bear in mind that this does take time. It doesn't change overnight. Economics never works that way. But the most important thing that we have happening is we have someone starting the process. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've lacked for many years. The actual move in the right direction. So when we see this with the Paris Accord, and I know some people are like, oh, the air, the water, that is all important. It is. But you know what? We're far better having corporate America deal with it than having the government. And I don't care what country you're in, when the government gets involved, it becomes expensive and it becomes hard to actually make work. So cleaning up our world, that's an effort we have to take. And we do that through the companies we support and the actions we take. Actions always speak louder than words. So having us out of there, I think, is an important thing. I think it's a benefit. I think that corporate America will do a better job of cleaning things up than the government. It will take so much longer and be so much more expensive to have entities as governments and nations doing it versus the people who create the technology to make the change.
Well, similarly, Trump just privatized the FAA. I'm sure people are freaking out over that. But like you just said, when you take things out of the government's hands, which there's in large part, there's no accountability in government. I mean, look what happened to Hillary Clinton. She's still walking the streets, and scaring children, and there's just no accountability. And corporations, they are held to a standard. They have to do the right thing. They have to make a profit at the same time. Government, they don't have to make a profit on anything. All they got to do is be vampires on the people that they're serving. But nonetheless, you say take action, and that's important. And I want our viewers at home, these are the calls to action today. First, call Charles at Noble Gold Investments at 888-596-7916. The number's at the bottom of the screen. And then if you want to take part in Charles' promotion and contest to win this 5-ounce silver piece, which has a retail at the U.S. Mint for $150, make a pledge at our Patreon for $20, and you will automatically be enrolled in Charles. He's handling all that stuff, so he'll select the individual, the lucky winner. So Charles, we'll have you back on again. Again, any last thoughts before we go?
I think that covers it. And again, take action. It's important. We have to support the causes we believe in. We have to support the release of true news. So it's important that you go to Patreon. Support those who are giving you the information you need. Give me a call. I'll help you with your precious metals, but take action.
Thank you so much, Charles. We'll have you back on again soon. That was Charles Thorngren with Noble Gold Investments. Again, the number at the bottom of the screen, 888-596-7916, and hit patreon.com/nextnews. That link is also in our description. You can go there, and according to Charles, $20 is the minimum he's setting so that you can participate to win this beautiful 5-ounce piece of silver. We'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.
You possess the power to impact the global narrative. Please share this report, and to get more videos like this, become a Next News subscriber by clicking the link below. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.